Another Friday and another movie review. For this week's movie review, I review a movie that not only Mario Van Peebles starred in, but he also directed. And that's 1991's New Jack City. As always, check out my movie review playlist. The link is on the upper right hand corner of the screen at the start of every video. And at the end, on the upper left corner, is my most recent movie review. Subscribe to my channel, smash the like button, and click the notification bell. When you see a new video, you can just check it out yourself. New Jack City is a 1991 crime action thriller directed by Mario Van Peebles in his directorial debut. He also stars in this movie along with the likes of Wesley Snipes, Ice-T, Chris Rock, and Judd Nelson. The plot follows a drug lord in New York City by the name of Nino Brown during a crack epidemic, and a New York City police detective by the name of Scotty Appleton who vows to end his rise to criminal power. The film is based upon an original story and screenplay by Thomas Lee Wright, who had worked as a story editor at Walt Disney Company and later Columbia Pictures before becoming a creative executive at Paramount Pictures. He wrote a treatment for Paramount based on an idea which the studio liked enough to have him try to do the first draft. He based his script to interviews he had done with people from Little Italy in New York, along with the story of Nicky Barnes, a black kingpin who had modeled his criminal organization in Harlem after the Mafia. He later wrote, directed, and produced 8 Tray Gangster, The Making of a Crip, a documentary of gang life in South Central Los Angeles. Barry Michael Cooper, who was an investigative reporter with the Village Voice, who later wrote screenplays for 1994 films such as Above the Rim and Sugar Hill, the latter which also had Wesley Snipes as the star. But Cooper co-wrote the screenplay, and his rewrite was adapted from his December 1987 Village Voice cover story entitled Kids Killing Kids, New Jack City Eats Its Young, about the drug war in Detroit. This account is referred to the 20th anniversary of the 1967 riots in Detroit and its wake, the rise of crack cocaine gangs in the late 80s. Quincy Jones received notice from this story, sought a meeting with Cooper, and he was tasked with rewrites on a screenplay that had been done about the life of Nicky Barnes. But in this film, the antagonist's name was changed to Nino Brown. Nino Brown and his gang, the Cash Money Brothers, CMB, becoming the most dominant drug ring once crack cocaine was introduced to the streets. His gang consists of Gerald G. Money Wells, the Da Man, Keisha, Nino's girlfriend Selena Thomas, and her cousin Kareem Akbar. Nino and CMB convert to the Carter apartment complex into a crack house. G Money and Keisha kill rival Fat Smitty and forces out tenants and a landlord. Meanwhile, undercover police detective Scotty Appleton attempts to make a deal with stick-up kid Pookie, who shuns him off with the money, but Appleton chases him and shoots him in the leg, but released on bail. As the years pass, Nino and his gang successfully run the streets of Harlem. Then when the leader of the CMB Police Operations Unit, Detective Stone, comes under pressure from Commissioner Price, Appleton, who is on suspension for shooting Pookie, volunteers to infiltrate Nino's gang and is partnered with Nick Peretti. Meanwhile, Nino refuses to pay protection money from mobster and tax collector Frankie Needles. When Appleton and Peretti observe Nino and company handing out Thanksgiving turkeys to the poor, Appleton spots Pookie, who is now a crack addict and is soon gotten to rehab. Pookie then offers to help bring down Nino, and Appleton reluctantly agrees. He recruits him as an informant. But when he relapses, G-Money realizes that he is wired and orders the Carter destroyed. The cops found Pookie's booby-trapped corpse. Peretti defuses the explosive seconds before it explodes. An angry Nino ripped into G-Money for making such a costly mistake. After Pookie's funeral, Appleton and Peretti go undercover as drug dealers. Bribing Frankie, they infiltrated the CMB partly due to G Money's increasingly drug use. Though Nino distrusts them, he agrees to do business. Appleton managed to gain Nino's trust when he revealed info about G Money's side deal and saves him from a gun-toting old man. While the two, along with the rest of CMB, attend a wedding, Peretti snuck into Nino's mansion to collect evidence. Meanwhile, Frankie's boss, Don Armateo, sends mobsters to kill Nino, and a massive shootout ended up happening. Appleton attempted to shoot Nino in the back when he used the kid as a shield. Keisha gets killed. Nino kicked his girl out and then ended up killing Don Armateo and his gang single-handedly. After a botched sting operation that Kareem had exposed, a shootout happened. Peretti saves Appleton by killing Nino's enforcer while he escaped. Nino then confronted and regretfully kills G-Money before continuing his operation on his own. That led to Appleton, Peretti, and the rest of the police to attack the complex, where Appleton brutally beats the shit out of Nino to near death, revealing that he killed his mother in a gang initiation so many years ago. Peretti calms down Appleton, and Nino gets taken into custody. At his trial, he pled guilty to a lesser charge, as he claimed he had been forced to help the gang due to threats, and he threw Kareem under the bus. His sentence was a year in jail. But as Nino speaks to reporters outside the courtroom, the old man fatally shoots him in the chest, causing him to fall over a balcony to his death. Appleton and Peretti leave satisfied as the onlookers look down at Nino's dead body. With a budget of $8 million to make, New Jack City premiered at the Sundance Film Festival on January 17, 1991, and was released in theaters by Warner Brothers on March 8, 1991. It grossed over $7 million in its opening weekend. It became the highest grossing independent film of 1991, and the total gross since the movie's release was an estimated $47,624,253 domestically. The overall rating for New Jack City is a 7 out of 10. According to Rotten Tomatoes, it holds an 81 approval rating based on 36 reviews, with an average rating of 6.7 out of 10. I was impressed with the acting skills of rapper Ice-T. He will go on to be in more feature films such as Ricochet and Surviving the Game shortly after this movie, and he even landed a spot on the longest running TV series on NBC, which is Law and Order Special Victims Unit, or SVU, playing the role of Odafin Fin Tutuola, and of course Wesley Snipes, as he would go on to be in another starring movie such as Passenger 57 and later the Blade trilogy.